Hello, I'm Zaki. This is the BBC World Service, and welcome to the engineers. This year we're at the Hello, I'm Zaki. This is the BBC World Service, and welcome to the engineers. This year we're at the Science Specialist University, Imperial College London, and we're here to focus on the technical revolution defining our era, artificial intelligence. I'm joined by a panel of two world leaders in the field and a large, enthusiastic audience in Imperial's Great Hall. Already, a computer can defeat the world's greatest player at our most complex strategy game. The first movie written entirely by AI has just been released, and AI may have discovered our first antibiotic in 3 decades. Together with our partners, the Royal Commission 1851, we've brought together two engineers at the cutting edge of this field to discuss their work and what it means for us humans. Let me introduce them. Wendy Yehezkiel and Fauzan Seftian. So, Wendy Yehezkiel is an American and a distinguished professor for AI and health at MIT in the US. He created a major breakthrough in detecting early-stage breast cancer and also led the team that used AI to discover what is hoped to be a brand new antibiotic. And second one, Defani Fauzan Seftian, is from the UK, where he's the principal research scientist at Google DeepMind. He led the team that used AI to defeat the world's best player at the complicated strategy game Go, and he's working on artificial general intelligence. So please join me in welcoming them all. Wendy, let's start with you. What made you shift your work to oncology? Sadly, you were in the perfect position to do that, weren't you?
So I started my work at MIT in 2003 as a faculty member working on natural language processing and AI. In 2014, I was diagnosed with breast cancer and I was treated at one of the best hospitals in the United States, Massachusetts General Hospital. What I discovered during my treatment was that there was really no AI or even basic information technology integrated into the process, neither in diagnostics, treatment, nor post-treatment. After I was treated, I was totally confused about what I wanted to do because it was the first time I realized that my life is finite. I saw many very sick people around me, and I thought, what can I do? MGH and MIT are just one subway to stop apart, separated by a bridge. I kept thinking, how come we have all this great technology at MIT, but none of it is coming to the hospitals to help patients? So after I finishing my treatment, I still didn't care. I started going from doctor to doctor, asking how I could bring AI into healthcare. I offered to do it for free. I'm a professor, so there weren't many takers at first. Eventually, I found a doctor named Connie Lehman who had the idea that we could apply AI to early cancer detection.
All right, thank you, Wendy. Now, Defan, you came to AI via the games industry, right? And did a PhD in reinforcement learning. What is reinforcement learning and how did you use it in those early days?
Yeah, I started in the game industry before going back to academia. I was working on building computer games, and a big part of that is building the AI for those games, making the characters move around. I found myself fundamentally disappointed by the methods being used in those games. I wanted to build something with real AI. That's when I discovered reinforcement learning, a method where the system learns from experience, trial and errors, trying things out and seeing what works and what doesn't.
So is it sort of like when we learn to not touch fire because at some point we try it and it really hurts and we learn don't do that in the future because the consequences aren't appealing. Is it sort of like how humans learn reinforcement learning?
Yes, it's a lot like that. So, in fact, humans are believed to have, a major part of the brain which is devoted to providing a signal, giving feedback that makes the brain actually learn to do more of the good things and less of the bad things. And so, actually, that's inspired a lot of work in machine learning to make a machines have that the same capability.
But a machine doesn't feel hit or isn't rewarded by a cookie. How can you reward a machine?
Yeah, so for a machine, it's just a number. So you give it a positive number if it's done something good and a negative number if it's done something bad. And at the end of the day, everything stems from that one single number. So this one single number, which we call the, the reward, contains enormous power because it's the signal that drives everything.
All right. Wendy, what can AI do when it comes to understanding cancer that humans can't?
Okay. In cancer and many other diseases, a big question is how to deal with uncertainty. Humans struggle with this, leading to wrong treatments or late diagnosis. For example, when we developed an AI model, I revisited my own mammograms and discovered that 2 years earlier, there was already a tiny cancer. For a human radiologist, it was impossible to detect because it was so small and confusing among all the tissue spots. So what AI can do? It can do a lot of tasks which humans cannot do. AI can take all the data we have and remove the guessing from diagnosis and treatment.
All right. Devon, why is it harder for a computer to beat a human at Go than at chess?
Okay, so the game of Go is this very beautiful and elegant game where it seems at first glance like the rules are very simple. But once you start to understand it a bit, like unpeeling an onion, you discover more and more layers of complexity. And what's amazing is that when humans play this game, they basically, if you ask them to describe how they did something, they really don't know. They have used incredible intuition. And so these amazing professionals, a player who have devoted their entire lives to this game, have built this incredible intuition and creativity. And intuition and creativity are two traits which were previously considered to be very human and very hard to build into machines. So while chess, it was possible to succeed just with tactical look ahead in the game of Go. That wasn't enough because early on in the game you just have to this handful of stones on the board, and you really just have to imagine what the game will pan out like. You know, 30 moves, 30 100 moves later with this sort of intuitive sense of where it will go, and that required some major breakthroughs.
All right, I think it's clear, yeah, from our discussion today that AI is rapidly reshaping the way we approach complex problems from healthcare to strategic decision making. While challenges remain, the breakthrough we've explored highlight the immense potential of AI to complement human intuition and expertise. Thank you to our brilliant panelists, Wendy and Defan, for sharing their insights, and to our audience here at Imperial College London for joining us. This has been the engineers on the BBC World Service. Until next time, goodbye. Ulangi deui euy. Etana naon teh? Tak akhirna penutupanna ulangi deui. All
Any
right, it's clear from our discussion today that AI is rapidly shaping.
Terapi bang, terapi.
Hah?
Oh ya, baiklah, gak apa-apa.
Non?
Oh, orang tadi orang note 300.
Kala orang iya anu penutupan salah tadi. Kayak di-cut we, heuh.
Sok. Ya, sok.
All right, it's clear from our discussion today that AI is rapidly reshaping the way we approach complex problems, from healthcare to strategic decision making. While challenges remain, the breakthrough we've explored highlight the immense potential of AI to complement human intuition and expertise. Thank you to our brilliant panelists, Wendy and Devan, for sharing your thoughts, and to our audience here at Imperial College London for joining us. This has been the engineers on the BBC World Service. Until next time, goodbye.